create content that inspires you? Talent that is simply too dope to describe? Welcome to Fahrenheit TV.
Fahrenheit TV.
Fahrenheit TV is a live monthly variety show that showcases people's greatness through narratives and artistic expression.
We're back with a brand new season of content that will uplift your soul.
Tune into our live episodes here on BNN TV or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to follow us on social media to keep up with all our latest news. We hope that you'll tune
in. Fahrenheit TV. Fahrenheit TV.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fahrenheit TV. I am your host and producer, Farrah June, and today I am honored to have the creative queen that I look up to, Miss Janina. Welcome to the platform, queen.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you. So if you guys are not following Madam of Laugh or She Excels, you should, because this creative queen, creates such great content that not only uplifts your soul, but also, makes you have more confidence in yourself. She talks about Black culture, Black pride. It just always has like the best memes to start your day. So when I was thinking of like our last episode of the year, I was like, you know what? I want to end it with some great positive energy. And obviously I had to think of creatives that I look up to, and Janina is one of them. So I'm very blessed and honored to have you on our platform finally.
I'm so flattered. Like, even when you sent me the email, I was like, oh, like a single tear. You were like talking about how much you look up to me, and I was like, I look up to her with her show. So like, this is amazing. So thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And I know I be giving compliments for days, but I mean them, because it's like I really like when I was thinking about the year is ending. I can't believe it's December, by the way. Like, can you believe it's December already? It's like just flash by. But I was just thinking of like, all right, like, what do I want to reflect on? So many things to reflect on. And I was thinking that, like, I'm so happy, and it's a blessing to know that I was able to find moments of joy through all of this chaos. And I had to think about, like, what brought me some of that joy. And really, I think, like, when you're thinking about, Instagram and social media, whatever, like, it's really important to follow, like, great, people, great pages that kind of, uplift your soul, I think, because sometimes you could kind of get lost in the rabbit hole and just go down a dark place and all this doom scrolling. And I was thinking, like, I'm really happy that I had people that I was following that, like, continue to uplift my spirits. And your page, Madam of Laughs, literally does that. Like, and also She Excels, because on Madam of Laughs, so I'm gonna put these handles so you guys could get on it and follow this queen. But on Madam of Laughs, not only do you like share like great memes and like funny videos, but I always feel like whenever you post something, it's because you care about the community. You want them to like feel good. And then on She Excels, because we're both creatives and we do so many things like all the time, especially you wear many titles. I love that you always like kind of reminding creatives like it's okay to take a break, or like you'll find creativity another time. Like I like that because it kind of gives me a good balance. Like I could laugh but also stay motivated to work, but don't feel bad if I'm like I can't get everything done, which sometimes that happens to me. So I really want to people to just know about your greatness. But before we get into all that, I just want to ask you, how have you found peace during this pandemic? How are you doing in general?
So I have to be honest, there are times where I didn't have peace. And I think you touched on some of, everything that's going on in the Black community, especially during the pandemic, how it specifically affected us, not having access to the proper healthcare that just worsened.
Mm-hmm.
Systematic racism, something that we've always been aware of as Black people, especially in Boston, that came to the forefront. And so murders of Black people were starting to be publicized and recorded. And because we were kind of in a place where we were sitting still and had to look at it and couldn't dismiss it, I think it caused even more stress and frustration, because it was like, even to go out and protest was risky. So it was hard to really figure out where you could voice your concern and could be heard. And social media was one of those platforms that I think everybody turned to as a safe place to, express how they were feeling about everything that's going on in the Black community, in addition to the pandemic. And so there were times where I was extremely like, what can I do? And social media has always been an outlet for me just on the regular. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try to continue to keep posting positive stuff. I did take like a month away, not even a month, it might have been like 3 weeks. It felt like a month because I know there like every day.
Like a month to me too. I was like, I haven't seen any new content, but I know that was needed. So I'm glad you took that time.
It was so much, like even Ahmaud Arbery, like his shooting I saw by mistake on social media. It was not my intention. I was scrolling. Someone shared it, I think well-intentionally shared it to let people know what was going on. And I didn't realize what I was looking at until I saw him being shot. And that just, I was like, oh my God. And that it still is like with me. And I've had like a visceral reaction to that. And so there were times where social media normally was my escape, and now it wasn't, because that was like the go-to place for everyone to voice what was going on, because we couldn't necessarily be out at lunch talking to a friend. But other ways so I had to disconnect a little bit, and literally what I did during that disconnect was just dive into more spiritual practices. Then, turning to spiritual practices, really just prayer, meditation, astrology, zodiology, astrology, but zodiac signs, tarot cards, and just diving into things that I had interest in, but wasn't able to really find time to incorporate between work and the hustle, just the hustle of being like, I want to work, but I also have this creative itch, and I'm trying to figure out how to monetize it. And, because I was able to work from home, thankfully, I was able to do that, and I still am doing that. I had more time to kind of sit still and go, okay, what makes me happy? How do I center myself, even though there's madness going on outside? And I feel like I answered the question in a very jumbled way, but I hope.
No, that's perfect, because I think you hit all the things that like I have a similar kind of journey where it was like social media was a place where I'm like, oh, I could connect with people and find some moments of joy, like following your pages and other people. But there was like, I remember, especially in the beginning of the summer, it was kind of triggering to be online, because like people were sharing videos. And like you said, I know it was, I would assume it was for good intention to, get awareness about what's going on. But man, it was so triggering. Like I can't watch any of those videos either. Like they stay with me. The last one I watched was Philando Castro's murder, and that was like back in 2017. So I've really been trying to like protect myself from seeing that stuff, because it won't leave your mind. And especially being a Black person in America, you just get more and more afraid and more paranoid and all sorts of emotions. So I'm glad that you took that time to get off of social media. I find it hard sometimes. I feel like not an addiction, but sometimes I feel like it's like, especially if we both like live alone and stuff. So it's like, it's my way of like connecting with friends and stuff, but making sure that you like, all right, take some time off. Like, too much you're seeing all these images will really get to you. So like you, I'm really glad that you took that time to like dive into other things that you love, that we're going to discuss on the show. And speaking of it, you talked about like that creative itch, right? And I'm like, like your creativity is so like, I love it. I love how you always bring humor into your content. But also like, again, like you always like celebrate like pride, even if you're not a Black American, like you just like having confidence in yourself. Like even on your social media page, you said, I am confident, creative, and Black. And I'm like, yes, it kind of reminds me of like Aretha Franklin's song, Young, Gifted, and Black. So I don't know, it just brings a lot of pride. But have you always had that creative itch? Like, were you always a creative person, since you were in school? Like, tell us a little bit about your journey, how you got into all of these things that you do.
I think being a creative was a struggle, because like, and we'll talk about astrology. I'm gonna throw a little astrology in there, okay? Because like, I grew up in Roxbury. I grew up in a single parent home. So seeing my mom struggle to put food on the table, I just was very like, I got to go to college. I got to get the degree. I got to get the job. I got to make the money, and I got to be financially stable.
Yes.
Creativity to me was like taking a risk. Starving artists, you know, when people talked about art, I was like, them folks be looking like they struggling. I ain't trying to struggle out here. Like
we do sometimes though. Yeah.
I'm gonna beg somebody to buy my painting and I ain't got no food. Like, so I was like, nah, man, creative stuff, that's for later. That's for, you know, paint night with your girls. Like, that's not a source of like income or
not a really a career type of thing. Yeah.
Right. And so I just never, whenever I would go to things as a kid, like summer camp or, you know, you had little arts and craft sessions or whatever, I would be really great. Like people, oh my God, you made this from the clay? Oh my God. Like people, you made this from little pipe cleaners? Oh my God. Like there will always be someone like excited for me. And I'd be like, whatever, bro, it's just pipe cleaners. I was
not a big deal.
But I was always creative, but I never really dived into it because I didn't see it as a longevity. I didn't see it as supporting me. I didn't see it as sustainable. So
and a lot of times they don't, I mean, to be honest, they don't like portray it as a career or as a longevity. Like I understand, like I was suffering and turning like, God, I just want to do this, but I don't know if I'm going to make any money and then blah, blah, blah. So I get where you're coming from.
So yeah, that's why I was with it for a long time. And so it was just like, it was this part of me that I kind of suppressed. And I was like, yeah, I'll paint a little bit, whatever. And photography was one thing that I got interested in. And so I was like, oh, I can make a business out of it, right? Okay, so there'll be money coming in. But photography didn't, I like photography, but I don't love it, I have to be honest. And it wasn't really until I got around some other Black photographers, other Black female photographers, like within the past 2 years, I found a Black female photography group. And those Black female photographers, they're not a whole lot of us. Black photographers, period, and then Black female photographers is even small percentage. But there's a group page on Facebook called Black Female Photographers, and they're Black female photographers from all over the world. Some of them are in London. They work for big magazines like Essence and larger than that, large companies like Staples, and they're doing like their product shots. And so there's a group that you can join, and they're just like a wealth of information. They just started doing conferences every year, and they invite different people from different areas of photography to come and talk to us and actually do hands-on sessions with us to walk us through editing, how to book a client, how to set up your workflows so that you can get more clients and be organized with how you deliver their images and things like that. And so I had come across that community, and I was like super excited because I was like, oh word, so I'm about to take off, because like I was like the only Black person in the room and a whole bunch of white folks. So now I got these Black women behind me, word, cool. And I was happy to be around them and, you know, absorb and take in, but I was like, yo, this don't feel like it's it for me. Like this, it feels like I need to be doing something else. And so videography was something that I was interested in, but I don't, listen, editing, bless your heart, Farrah, bless your heart. Editing video, I'd be like, oh my God.
I know, it's literally a love and hate relationship. Like, man, I know.
I'm like, what? I gotta rewind it. I feel like I be putting it on mute because the audio to go back and chop and, you know, layer things the right way. I'm like,
I know.
But yeah, like I love videography, but like the editing part, I'm like, I gotta outsource that move. You know, like, but videography started to become popular on social media as well, because like Instagram just started off being video, and then we had it was another little app that came along that people were using, and then it went over to Snapchat, and like so people started getting more interested in video. And I was like, you know what, I think I like video too. So that piqued my interest. Painting also is something that I like to do. Drawing, not so much, because I could be perfectionistic, and so it just never gets done because I'm like, didn't happen. And so, but I just feel like I have so many different creative interests. I also always felt this pressure from people to choose one thing.
Yes, that part. Can we talk about it? It's like I feel like it limits you because it puts you in a box and you're like, I can't do this. I can't just stick to just one thing.
But it's crazy because when you look on social media, and that's one of the pitfalls of social media, comparing yourself to other people, comparison. I felt like I knew so many other Black creatives that had just like one thing they were doing, and they were like doing really well at that one thing. And I was like, I don't want to just do one thing though. So I constantly was like going through this tug of war with myself about like choosing one thing. And it wasn't really until the end of 2019 that I was like, fuck it, I'm about to do all of it. I don't know what y'all want. Like,
Exactly.
I'm about to do all the things and I'm about to hop around and you go and buy it, like whatever. Like, because it was just like, I can't choose one. And so quarantine was really an opportunity to start diving into those things that were like bouncing around in my head, and notebooks of like ideas that I wrote down. And I was like, oh, when I get some time, maybe I'll do some t-shirts. Oh, when I get some time, maybe I'll do some bags. And oh, maybe when I get some time, make some little short videos and stuff. Like, but I was like, ain't no time, you know. And so now there's more time, you know, working from home. And so I'm just dabbling with those things that I was like, that piqued my interest. And so now it's like really just starting to take root, I think. Because it was just like ideas in the air now before, but now it's like taking root. So
I love that. And I have to say, I love that you're a woman of your word because you put all those goals down and Shorty is doing it. Okay, we both got the t-shirt on. Can we just show the camera who got the t-shirt on? Like, you have like taken all those interests that you had naturally. You didn't, you know, like just try to put yourself in a box, and you've been able to like kind of make a business out of them, right? So like to me, as a creative person myself, like how do you like balance being a multi-hyphenate? Because it's like you're really good at it. You're like really good at it. Like, you know, like this t-shirt business.
Good at it. So because like I feel like I'm constantly fighting in my head, like, okay, what am I going to do today? Sometimes I feel like it would be easier if it was just one thing, because then it's like I'm just doing this one thing every day. But like it was hard to figure out how to even create platforms online to let people know I was the same person. Because like, like, okay, so my photography website is janinaphoto.com, right? And I have, then I have Madam of Laughs, which really started off as just a personal page. I started Madam of Laughs back in like 2010, 2011 when I was in college. And it was just because that was when Instagram was just pictures. And I was like, oh, I love resharing memes and making people laugh. So, and I looked and I was like, Madam of Laughs is probably not going to be available. And I was like, and I checked it, it wasn't. I was like, word, I'm about to snatch up this one. And I just started off sharing other people's stuff. I wasn't even making my own stuff. So I was just sharing just to make people laugh, and just in the comment section laughing with other people, like, yo, where'd you find this? You know? And that it was just like that kind of a community. And then She Excels is very, very new. That was like 2017. And that started off as a business that I wanted to use, or in a business that I wanted to help other creatives create income around what it is that they were creative or good at.
Nice.
The website initially was Excellence Be You. And I don't know, like, I'm gonna say some stuff spiritually. I'm not trying to freak y'all out, but like, I was like, okay, Excellence Be You was catchy, it's cool, all right. And so my social media, at first I had She Excellence as my handle on like Twitter and everything for that business. And something was like, it sounds cool, but it ain't quite right. And I was like, whatever, it's She Excellence and that sounds cool and I'm staying with it. And there was like one day it would just kept bothering me, and I sat down and I was like, all right, fine. If it's not She Excellence, then what is it? And I literally auditory like heard She Excels.
Nice. It's short, sweet, to the point. I like it.
Yeah, and I was like, but what you mean? I mean, that was classy, like, because it was around the time that everybody was saying Black excellence. And
that hashtag and everything.
Play on that. And so I was like, She Excels, like, what you saying? And like, I literally
what you saying?
What you saying? Like, I feel like my spirits guy is a ghetto, or like they be like, listen, you need to just do what I tell you. Like, I don't know. And so, like, I heard say it out loud because I'm hearing she excels in my head, but I hadn't said it out loud yet. So I said she excels. And I was like, oh, and like it resonated. Like something that resonated. And I literally heard like, it not only is it a business, it's an affirmation. She excels. She excels at whatever she applies herself to. She excels. She excels. And I was like, oh, but I was hard-headed because I didn't
stop recording you.
I changed my Instagram to She Excels. I changed my Twitter to She Excels, but I didn't buy the URL. That's a tip I give to a lot of other creatives. Whenever you think of a business and you think of a name for it, go to GoDaddy.com or whatever website and just search the name of the business that you're thinking about. See if it's taken. If it's not, and it doesn't cost that much to buy a URL. It'll be like, depending on how popular it is, it might be like $12 for 2 years.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
URL. And so just buy the URL, keep it. If you don't do anything with it within a year, then don't renew it. Just let it go. But I say just buy the URL and hold on to that thing because you never know what you might need. So my foolish behind, I didn't take my own advice in this case. I didn't buy the URL for She Excels. I was like, whatever. And recently I was like, okay, it was recently that I started to do the t-shirts.
Yeah. So
let me make the website now. Girl. So this lady in the UK bought she has like a whole conference that she does around it apparently.
Oh, okay.
So, I was like, I should have bought it, I didn't listen.
Yeah.
And that was back in 2017, so my heart got it behind. But
you
so I
didn't know then. You didn't know then. So
I did. I should have. And it's not a big deal. It's just what I ended up doing is She Excels Boston, which I think is even tighter. Because Boston is my hometown, I'll always love Boston, but I know that I'm bigger than Boston. Yeah. Most Black people need to know we bigger than Boston and we can go beyond our hometown. So that's also an affirmation. She excels Boston. So it still works out. But things have I just want people to understand that it doesn't always all come at once.
Yeah.
Like it comes over time. Because like that website, She Excels is new. That website has only been up for maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
The start of quarantine, and then my Janina Photo, which is my website, JaninaPhoto.com, that's been up for a few years. And there might be more websites to come, girl. Bye. Those are the two primary ones that I have, and like it's just, I don't know, it's kind of just like a plant, like the roots of a plant or a tree. It starts off as one, and then it kind of just goes in different directions as it grows. And I don't know, things just come to me and I'm like, okay, and now I'm in a space now due to quarantine and working from home that I have the freedom and the space to kind of explore those things. Before it was just written down, and I don't know, hopefully I'll get to it. But now those things are just starting to like take root and grow. So
and I'm loving the how you're blossoming, because like, I mean, thinking about your t-shirts, right? Because I want to get into like what inspired you to create these designs and stuff, but you found success this year, like partnering with other people. Like, can we talk about them? Like, yes!
Double M, yeah. Chopping a style of the rhythm like angle bang. What a da bang. Angle bang. Have a little money in the pocket 'cause I just got paid. I could do it a little more, but I'm still irate. So now I'm stepping out to a party. Trouble when I link up with my friends and family. Man, anywhere we go, we mash it up. We rip it up, we mash it up. Girl, them a fi bubble and them a fi back it up. Everybody see me and they say we hack it up. We just living, mash it up. We rip it up, we mash it up. Girl, them a fi bubble and them a fi back
TikTok and, you know, doing deals and stuff with people. I'm like, this is awesome. So can you talk about like what inspired you to create these awesome t-shirts? Because like I'm wearing mine, I'm wearing the Kwanzaa one. I will do a video to show you guys how excellent it is. But you know, but that's just from your latest collection right now. But the Excellent Creative in Black, I think those are probably some of your first like t-shirts you put out. Like what inspired you for these designs?
So the Creative in Black, I just saw like this uptake of people on social media wanting to wear shirts that expressed how they felt about themselves, expressed who they were. And I was like, I don't really see one that speaks specifically to being creative in Black.
Yes.
And I was like, and the thing about being creative in Black is there's so many different versions of being creative in Black, right? And who was it? Amanda Seales has like a whole series and a whole show that she does funny creative in Black. And so I was like, oh, but there's all kinds of creative in Black people. There's excellent creative in Black. There's awkward creative in Black. There's all these different kinds of creative Black people. And I was like, I want to create t-shirts that celebrate that we come in all different shapes and sizes, and some of us are awkward and quiet in the corner, some of us are loud and want your attention right away. Like, I want to be able to have t-shirts that do that. So that's what's, you know, sparked that. And then the Kwanzaa t-shirt, that just came to me while I was designing the Creative in Black t-shirts. And I was like, you know, working on, because I was trying to figure out which place to have them printed, and, you know, and I was playing around with designs, and I was like, you know what, I always wish I had a t-shirt for Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
I said, but what would I make it look like? Because I have seen Kwanzaa t-shirts, don't get me wrong, but like a lot of times they be mad busy and they be all
a lot going on.
In the Africa in the corner, and you're like, maybe I just want something like, you know, plain text but bold and says Kwanzaa, like, and then tells you about the principles. And so I was like, let me just do a bold text and like do some, you know, have the principles on the back so that if someone's like, what's Kwanzaa? You can be like, boo, 7 days and Gucci Saba, listen, you know what I'm saying? And like run it down to them in the on the back if you want.
Yeah.
It just kind of,
I love about it.
Yeah, it just came up that way, and I was like, well, let me see. And I play around in Canva a lot with like different templates that they have for fonts, and that's how I do a lot of my ads for the t-shirt. I go in there and play with their templates, and I found a font and played around with colors to get the Kwanzaa text, and I was like, oh, this is dope.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, and you know, because I was like, wait a minute. I was like, it's my eyes? Because listen, I was looking at the computer all day playing with these t-shirts that I was like, am I thinking this is fly and it's really not? Like, something's going on with my eyes. So I screenshotted it and was like, let me ask Farrah, because she got a key, she got a sharp eye, let me ask her.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, that was dope. When you created them, I was like, what? Farrah said they dope? Oh.
Buy it. I want to buy it now.
Yes. I was like, word. And then after you said it, I sent it to somebody else, because I was like, I like to get like a census of at least my 3 top creative people that I'm cool with. And I was like, let me send it to this person. She was like, and I didn't send her the front because I was scared she was gonna steal the front. This is somebody I'm newly friends with. I don't know her that well, but I respect her well. So I was like, I ain't gonna show you the front. I'm gonna show you the back piece. I'm gonna show you let me see what you say about the back piece. And she was like, that's dope. What you doing over there? I was like, stuff. But like, you know, like whatever. And then when I was done with the t-shirt, she was like, yo, that's fly. And you know, I got so many compliments from people that I'm like, wow, okay, cool. I just feel like I'm seeing a lot more success during quarantine. I mean, there's so much going on. It's such a weird time. Like, there's so much stress and like worry and uncertainty. But at the same time, there's so much creativity going on at the time, and like success in creative spaces at the same time. So it's like emotionally, it's weird. It's like, oh, I want to be happy because this happened, but like these terrible, terrible things are all happening.
Yeah.
It was hard to like hold space for both, but yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously, I love the t-shirts. I got me a few. I got to get me some more. But what I really love about this shirt too is not only because it tells people about Kwanzaa, because it's like something still kind of new. I mean, I'm a Haitian American. We didn't really like celebrate Kwanzaa. But like just growing up and learning more about Black culture, I'm like, oh, this is something I want to celebrate. And I never knew all 7 principles. I might be able to tell you 2 back in the day, but now I'll be like, oh, you want me to go through it? Let me just turn around and let you know. And I love how it's bright, and and you have this in a variety of colors. So if you don't want to get the blue like me, you can get black, red, all sorts of different colors. Just visit her website at sheexcelsboston.com to get you a t-shirt and support Black businesses. And another thing I really love about your t-shirts, especially this year, Janina, is that like, with all the chaos going on, the civil unrest, the Black Lives Matter and stuff, I remember a lot of some of the conversations were like, all right, we need to support, our Black people more. Like, we need to support Black businesses. We need to learn more about Black culture. I felt like this year, even with all the chaos happening, it gave people an opportunity to like learn, not only about their privileges, but, about the injustices that we've been talking about forever. And I love that this t-shirt, like all of your t-shirts really kind of celebrate that Black culture and that Black pride, because I think a lot of us Black people just needed that. Like, we needed to like feel valid in our existence, because it seems like the world continues to not want us to be here, but want stuff from us. So I really love that the t-shirts kind of just like makes you feel good in your skin, makes you feel good, wherever you go, wherever you come, wherever you're from, the Black diaspora. I can't even talk real, but you know what I mean? Like, it just makes you feel proud of who you are as a Black person. So I think it was really needed, especially this year, because of all the things that was going on. And was that like any of your intentions when you were creating?
I did. I was thinking, I just want, like I was saying, like so here's what happened with Kwanzaa, right? Like, people tend to go overboard and everything. There's an Africa everything, there's a zebra, there's all these patterns, you know what I'm saying? All these patterns all over. I grew up attending Kwanzaa most of my childhood, and I remember just being like, yo, this is like too much Africa. Like, it was like, damn, like it was so much. Like, they used to bombard us with Africa, and we was like, yo, we been, are you taking us? And nobody wanted to take us. So it just felt like this place that we were from, and we should know, but we can't know, and we don't know where exactly we're from. And it was just very strange. And so when I created the shirt, I was like, I wanted to represent those of us who have a desire to understand where our ancestry is from, and want to celebrate our African Americanness.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a whole continent. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And make it modern, make it fit what's going on right now. But I just wanted to be representative of us and our history. And because I think a lot of times what I remember in regards to Kwanzaa growing up was just like, we don't belong here. We're supposed to be back there as kings and queens. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but we here. So let's talk about what we're gonna do here. And the Kwanzaa does talk about, economics and building a solid foundation here. But I think we spent a whole lot of time just being like upset that we were taken, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't get the opportunity, or still, now we have ancestry.com, but it ain't really all that deep. It ain't really give from. But there was like, there's still a disconnect, but I was like, I want to celebrate African Americanness.
Yeah, it's a culture here too, you know what I mean? So I love that you did that, because I think a lot of times too, like when I saw Kwanzaa t-shirts and stuff, like you said, it's really busy. And I felt like, is it like people trying to understand what Africa is? Like, like, oh, Africa is animals and this and that and that. And I was like, it just, but I like this is more simple, and it just gets to the point, but also kind of celebrating both cultures in a way, you know what I mean? But yeah, I love that, because before I was like, I don't know what's going on. But.
Fahrenheit TV.
also want to kind of like take it back a little bit more into the pandemic of like, I know you talked about it a little bit earlier about like sharing content on Madam of Laughs to like, you know, put people in a good mood and stuff. But like, did you, because what I noticed too this year was like, there was a lot of people that I you know, follow that was sharing, you know, Black history, some triggering videos, a lot of angry people. All of that stuff is valid because it's been a very emotional year. But what I liked about your page was that you kind of focus more on like humor and comedy and stuff. Like, was that intentional? Did you want to just like, because I know you said you took like, you know, a social media break for yourself, and you were trying to, you know, just like protect your peace almost. But was that intentional for you to create content and share content that kind of, you know, celebrated Black joy a little bit? Like, was that intentional this year?
Yeah, like I feel like I've always wanted to just focus on the humor. Every once in a while, I will share something factual or like, here, go here for this resource, or go here to find out about this. But I feel like the internet is readily available for anyone who wants to use it. If you want to know something, boo boo, go to Google and search. And you know, but I don't take it on as my duty to educate someone about something they want to know about. That's self-work, boo boo.
Yes.
And I'm just here to provide some laughter. It makes me laugh. Like, it makes me happy to bring other people laughs. So I'd be like, yo, let me try to find the funniest content that I can find, and let me put the funniest something in the caption to get folks laughing. Like, I genuinely enjoy making people laugh. So as much as it helps other people, it's a little selfish as well. Like, it's like, yo, I'm about to make these folks crack up in the morning. They're gonna be in this comment section with the tear laughy faces and all that because this is funny. I found the funniest thing today, you know, like
my favorite emoji to use. Like, if I can use that, I'm like, oh, I'm in a good mood. I love it.
So it was just, you know, how can I make people laugh? And I've always been that kind of a kid. When I was a kid growing up, I enjoyed making other people laugh and helping in some way. And so I think Madam of Laughs kind of caters still to that part of me that's like, okay, how can I help? How can I shine my light a little bit to make things a little less crazy in the world? I can't fix it, but how can I help? And I think humor in the Black community, period, has always been a survival mechanism for us. It's definitely a part of who we are as African Americans. And so I just feel like I'm just one of many people just still using that tool to be like, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. I don't know how, but it's gonna be all right sometimes. Yeah, but every once in a while I'll share something serious, and just like really just checking folk, because I'm a Capricorn and that's what we be doing. We be like, listen, it's all jokey, but right now we need to be serious and this is factual information. But then we go back to the jokey joke. Like, it's just how I am.
And I have to say, like, I know I wrote in the email, but it really is a blessing, especially this year, to find moments where you could laugh, because everything going on is so overwhelming. It's still overwhelming even as we speak, you know, like we don't know what the future holds in 2021. We hope obviously good stuff, but again, we don't know. 2020 just took us out like, oh okay. Like, you know, I had no idea this was gonna happen. But I really appreciate that you were able to share that content, because it really did, like, you know, kind of uplift your spirit, kind of gives you something to look forward to, or gets your mind off, you know, all the stuff that you can't control. So I'm very grateful to you for sharing that. And then when I'm thinking about, I want to get back to your t-shirts, because I'm thinking about, like, not only did you create t-shirts to, like, you know, make people have more confidence in themselves, to represent Black culture and Black pride, but also you know, about astrology. You know what I mean? Like, you just mentioned you're a Capricorn. I love my Capricorns. My moon is a Capricorn 8. And I'm thinking about astrology and stuff, because like you really, like, I was teasing with you this earlier this year, but I'm like legit, like, I'm still a freshman in the astrology school. You know, I'm very new to this, but I've always been, you know, fascinated by astrology. And you are the one that really got me into it. Like, you're like, girl, you need to look up your birth chart, and you need to look up this sign and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, I really do though. Wow, I understand myself a little bit more, you know? So Like, what got you into astrology? Because you've created beautiful t-shirts also on sheexcelsboston.com. Make sure you get a t-shirt. But like, what got you into astrology and, you know, wanting to learn more about this topic and zodiacs? And because you have such knowledge in it that I'm always like, this is happening in my life. Maybe I should contact Janina, because she's probably gonna say it's because of this happening in your chart. I'm gonna be like, okay.
But so, for me, it started in a roundabout way. So like, I always knew that I was a Capricorn, which for those of you who are not astrology people, like, that's your sun sign. That's the placement that the sun was in at the time of your birth, and that's the sign that we most often associate with, is our sun sign. And so I always thought of myself as a Capricorn for a long time, but there were certain parts of Capricornness that I was like, I don't think I'm really like that, but all right, I guess, whatever. And so it was honestly through a dating app. Like, so there was this dating app that supposedly matches people based on their entire birth chart. So like, they ask you your date of birth and your time of birth if you feel comfortable giving the time of birth. I mean, the time of birth makes it more accurate. And so I ended up matching up with this guy, and like, he was a little too much, you know, right? But you know, he was like adamant about, I mean, he knew so much, and I was like on the phone with him, like, are you for real? Like, he was like, he was a little scary. Like, he was like, you know, when I have kids, I wanna plan the time of birth.
Whoa.
Sir, you can't do that. The baby gonna come out when the baby gonna come out, sir.
I'm trying to think, like, that's very, like, no.
I was like, you can't. He was like, no, everything matters though. Like, when you look at the chart and the aspects and the he was like, and I was like,
too much.
And of course, things did not blossom with this individual. Like, but yeah, I was like, something ain't right about you. But I'm one of those people that be like, something ain't right about you, but what exactly ain't right? So I be like, because I catalog when people ain't right, and I be like, you know what? You remind me of so and so that I met 3 years ago. You look crazy. I'm gonna walk away. Like,
just to remember, I get it. I do that same thing.
Bachelor's is in sociology, so I be looking at folk and, you know, keep a track. But so him and his craziness, like, things didn't work out. But something about, I was like, there was so much that he was like mentioning that he could see in my chart, and like when we were just talking about each other's chart, that was like spot on. And I was like, this is crazy. How is this chart know so much about me? Like, this is crazy. And spent, like, going into quarantine, I then had more time to like look at what aspect they mean, and looking at houses and all this stuff that makes up your birth chart. And I was like, yo, this is spot on. And it ultimately helped me creatively, and I didn't expect that. Like, so I had mentioned to you, like, how I constantly felt this pressure to choose one creative thing, and just be in that one thing. So I'll give like a little, I don't want to go too much into astrology because it'll get confusing. But so there are different houses in your chart that are said to represent certain aspects of your life. And like, depending on what kind of placement you have in that house, it's supposed to like say how you behave or indicate what kind of behavior you have in those things. So for example, career-wise, in my career house, which is the 10th house, there are 12 houses. So in your 10th house, that's supposed to,
I'm like, I'm about to look this up again. Yeah.
whatever placement you have in that 10th house is, you know, says what kind of what kind of career or how you approach career. So in my 10th house, I have Gemini. Okay. Gemini is known for being like boo-boo, bouncing around.
They're air sign, right? Yeah, they just be up in the clouds.
Flighty, you could say that, like, but it's hard to pin them down. They don't like to be tied down. They like to do a little bit. They like to know a little bit of everything. They like to be knowledgeable. They like to be able to talk to people about what it is they know. And that is very much me career-wise. And I'm like, what the hell is this in the chart? And like, I was like, and it's like, it's hard for me to choose. I just can't, you know what I'm saying? I just can't. And so there's other aspects of that were just so true in my chart that I was like, yo, I'm still studying it. I feel like there's still things that I'm going, oh, wow, I didn't even see how that connected to this. And on YouTube, there's a whole community of Black astrologers that, you know, read charts and talk about different aspects. So like when you find an aspect in your chart that you're like, what does that mean? You can literally go to Google and type in Gemini 10th house, and there's somebody that made a video going, if you have Gemini in 10th house, you most likely have this going on, and you most likely have these kind of challenges. And a lot of it is like spot on. And seeing Gemini in my 10th house and seeing other aspects kind of just took a weight off of me. Like I was like, oh shoot, I'm not crazy, bro. Like this is hard. Like this is crazy. Like it just affirmed so many things that because I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart other than just my sun sign. Capricorns are very like, let's get it done.
Yeah.
Like a plan. Let's get it done. Are we getting it done? Are we doing it? Like, and so because I'm that way in like mentally, that I already knew chronologically like what parts of me need work. Like I already don't need nobody else to tell me what needs work. I already know. Because I'm like, Capricorns constantly want to excel and do better whenever they do something. So when there were aspects of my life that I was like, yo, how come this is not working? I made a plan, I followed it to the T, step 1, step 2, step 3, like, why is this not working? Yeah. And so there were parts of me that I was like, I don't even know, like that part of me is a mess and I don't even understand what to do with it. Looking at astrology and seeing different placements in certain ways, in certain areas, I was able to go, oh, wow. That's there just to challenge me to do this, to encourage me to do that, to push me in this way, to be on this path. Why was I beating myself up about that? Because I'm supposed to be moving in this direction. Like when you really start to look at your birth chart, it's literally like a direction guide.
Yeah, it's like a blueprint of your life. It's amazing.
A manual, why you're here, what's your purpose? Like once you start learning and looking really, you know, into aspecting, which is like a whole nother level of it. It's very specific. It's literally a how-to guide of what you're here for, what your purpose is. And it has stuff in there that I'm like, how do you know that? I put my childhood in there, like specific, what is the word? Events that happened in my life that it's like in the chart. I'm like, how though? How is this in? It's very scary sometimes.
It is. I love it because like when you told me about it, I'm gonna be honest, I was very uncomfortable because I was like, damn, this birth chart needs to mind its business. Like it does not know me. Like I didn't like it at first, but then a bigger part of me, like probably like 80% of me was like, I actually want to like understand myself more. So like everything you're saying about like not only understanding why these certain events happen in your life, but like why are you the creative that you are? Why are you the person that you are? I'm like, oh my gosh, it just made me feel so much better. Like I'm not crazy. I'm not alone. Like I literally was built like this, and this is happening so I could learn from this. So I mean, I haven't had I had time earlier in the year before I was working like crazy, but to like you know, read different things and kind of like reflect, which again, if you have time to think in this world, that is a good blessing. And I it's something that I want to constantly revisit because there'll be things that happen and I'm like, I don't understand why this is happening. I don't know why I'm in my feelings. I don't like this. And then I'll read it and I'll be like, oh, all right, this is you're fine. Even like apps like the pattern and everything, like I love it. I love, and you introduced me to all these people that really will like break it down for me, because sometimes you read these birth charts, if you guys are interested, which I think you know, just check it out. You read the birth charts and I'd be like, I have no idea what this means in this house. And I remember asking you that and you were like, you know, if you go on YouTube and you just, you know, like you said, type in, you know, what does this mean in this house? And I was like, oh, did that. I was like, look at all these creatives, these Black creatives and other people just explaining what this means. And it felt like I kind of got like a free like reading from someone, you know what I mean? It's almost like, I don't want to say like God's talking to you, but it's almost like, you know, like just people just reaffirming like what's going on in your life, or, you know, just basically saying you're going to be fine, which I really like. It's really intriguing to me. And I like that you made t-shirts, you know, for each zodiac sign. Was that inspired by like just learning all about astrology, or like people that you know personally, like know personal zodiac?
At first I was only gonna make one for my signs. So I was like being mad selfish about it. Like, ooh, I want a Capricorn shirt, and I was like, well, maybe other people want shirts too, Janina. Like, so I thought, okay. So I sat down with a notebook and I was like, well, let me think of what words really are representative of each sign. Like, what does each sign really resonate with. And so like where Capricorn, it was hard to choose because like we're about forward movement and advancement and acknowledgement for our hard work. But I was like, discipline is something that I think that word fits Capricorn. Capricorn's like, did we do it on time? Did you turn it in on time? Like, we don't want to do it for nobody showing up late. You know, that's flimflammery. Like, we're just not, you know, so we
guys are like dotting your I's, crossing your T's all the time. That makes sense. That's why it's in my mood. I'm like, oh yeah, I be trying to do that too.
And we just want to get, in order to get it done, there has to be a certain amount of discipline with Capricorn people. So I was like, oh, discipline. And then, so I just, it took me a while to really go through and go, okay, which word really fits with each sign and like it's representative. And so like for your Scorpio sun, so I was like, oh, Scorpios be strategic. They be like, going over there, I'm gonna do this and this is what's gonna happen. Like y'all study, y'all can make the right moves. And people like to call that sneaky, that's the other word, but no, it's just planning and being smart about where you're gonna put your energy and who you want to allow around you, because that ultimately is energy. You know, it's just strategic, being, you know. And then there was some that I struggled with because I don't have any Cancer in my chart. So I was like, I don't know what y'all be doing. So what? So I was like, let me look. And so I was like, okay, Cancers tend to be family oriented, very like nurturing kind of people. And so I, you know, that word I chose, family. If y'all have another word that y'all think is better, let me know. Because I was kind of on the fence about that one. I was like, I don't know. But
our Cancer zodiac signs, let Janina know if you're like, you know what, this word probably is better. But they are like very nurturing and loving and stuff. I know a few Cancers.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I don't have no Cancer in my chart, like not even one. So I don't know what y'all be doing. So, but yeah, it was like, you know what? If I can celebrate mine, let me make room for other people to celebrate theirs, you know? So yeah, and I think a lot of people are becoming more interested in astrology and birth chart and zodiac. And when people love their sun signs. Like people like,
I love being a Scorpio. I'd be like, Scorpios, even though people be hating us, I'd be like, I love being a Scorpio.
So people be loyal, you know, people are loyal to their sign. So I was like, you know, people are gonna want to celebrate their sign, and if I could find a t-shirt that helps them do that, then yeah.
But you know, I wanted to ask you, Janina, because you have so much knowledge in this, and I always feel like, you know, affirmed when I talk to you about like, this is going on in my life or whatever. You're like, that's that Scorpio, that's this and that. Would you be able, because I feel like our audience members are also probably passionate about their sun sign, right? Would you be able to kind of give us maybe a horoscope of what 2021 would look like for us, if that's possible?
So what I can do, because I feel like I don't know how other people come up with horoscopes and stuff. When you read the little horoscopes in the magazine, I'm like,
how do they do that?
So like for me, tarot cards and affirmation cards are something that I've gotten into during quarantine as well. So I think what I can do is like I'll pull an affirmation card and what they call an oracle card. Oracle cards are kind of like deep and like build you up, but from a deep ancestral place.
Yeah, and then I like that actually like deep. I'm like, ooh, I like that.
When I read the little, like they'll have little sayings on them, and then the affirmation card, the affirmation deck that I'm going to use actually is like a really like cute affirmation deck. And
I like the design. Is that a unicorn? Oh, it's cute.
It's a little unicorn on it. It's very cute. And it has like little sayings that are very quirky and fun, and like it's not just like a regular affirmation that's like deep and wonderful. I feel like most affirmations are so deep that you're like, you don't really receive it sometimes. Like, what? So, but like these affirmations are a mix of like, you know, delivering the message, but with a little bit of like cynical funniness to it. So you're like,
it goes with your personality, because that's what you are. You're like, you could be serious, but there's always like, you know, some humor in there, which is why you're such a good friend. Because I'd be like just cracking up, but like, damn, she has a point. As long as you know your sun sign, Janina is gonna read to you what 2021 beholds for you.
Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Pisces. Just trying to get to know you know what I mean? Tell me, what's your Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo,
For Aries, I have, and this is funny. It says peacemaker, let go of the need to be right. And and for those of you who know Aries people, Aries be ready to fight. I have Aries in my chart. My moon is in Aries. We be like, come outside. You got something to say, come outside. And we think we're right. A lot of signs think that they're right, but like Aries will box you in the face over thinking they're right. So just, be peaceful in 2021, y'all. And then so this is the affirmation card for Aries, and it says connection. And in connection to the multitudes, and I can access their support at any time. Even a stranger offers me a sense of comfort when they smile at me or make a dumb comment about the weather. Everyone is waiting to connect. All I need to do is open myself up and pay attention. So that's just like a suggestion to connect with others. Don't be boxing folks in the face.
Nice.
And the oracle card that we have for Taurus is the wise one. And the affirmation card that we have is self-love. And the wise one is, it says, grow within your current situation. So there's something that's going on that you need to grow. There's a whole explanation normally, but we're just going to keep it short.
Yeah.
It's encouraging you to not move around a lot, but to stay where you are and find peace where you are and get grounded there, and grow. And maybe if it's a difficult situation, find a way to grow and blossom whatever it is you need to grow in that space. And the self-love card is I openly embrace a feeling of self-love, the PG kind.
Oh, okay.
Let's be specific about the kind of self-love we're talking about here, okay? I love myself because I understand myself. I love myself as my most committed partner I will ever have. I show myself love in any way that I can. When I screw up, I remember to be sweet and gentle with myself. If not, I'm going to have to make myself sleep on the couch. Got it, self? Like, it's a little quirky.
Yeah.
Gemini for the oracle card has hold space, and the affirmation card is power.
Nice.
So hold space is the druid. So wherever you are, you're being told to hold space for yourself and for others that may need you to hold space for them. So maybe you're a safe space for somebody. Maybe you need to create a safe space for yourself so that you can focus on what it is you need to get done. And the power card is I am strong, I am grounded, I am powerful. I am like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank. But not a tank that's used for war. I am peaceful. I'm a loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. Nice. So that's a cute little card.
All right, Gemini, I hope you heard that.
We have Cancer. I don't really know y'all, but we are. So for the oracle card, we have Sky Father, which says trust the unknown. And then for the affirmation card, it says good things to come. Mm-hmm. So the Sky Father is about trusting things that you're not certain about and thinking positively, and that they'll come into fruition in the way that you want them to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the simplest way I can describe that. And so let me read the good things to come. There are so many amazing gifts coming my way. I can't see them now because I respect the general convention of not peeking under the wrapping paper, but they will show up when the time is right. And that's when I remember how much fun of a surprise it will be. Mm-hmm. Leo, for the oracle card, you have Medicine Guardian. Mm-hmm. And the caption is be open to healing information. And so for me, I tend to get this card when I'm not paying attention to something, and I need to sit still and think through about something that I may have gone through recently, that I may have missed some information, or I need to read something, or I need to, if there's something that I was like, oh, I've been interested in that because I feel like it'll help me here, this card tends to come to me to remind me, go read that article, go listen to that book on Audible. that you bought the other day. Like that's when that comes up for me. And the affirmation card is peacefulness. And I have a peaceful and tranquil, untroubled heart. This is where I choose to spend my time. I can bring guests, but any person, I don't know what that means, child. Hold on, I'm sorry. I can bring guests, but any person, thought, or event that brings drama or chaos is not invited. My heart is a special property. I'm going to keep it that way so we can all keep enjoying it, and I can get my security deposit back. And then here comes Virgo. Ooh. And this is the Knight, and it says be brave and honest. This card tends to come to me when I'm in denial about something. Like I'm like, I think I know what I think I know, and even when I fact checked it, it was right, and I'm the fact checker. So it just, and I need to sit down and really be honest with myself about whatever it is. So that card comes to me. Then, ooh, you guys got a nice card for affirmation. It's manifestation.
Okay.
If you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? Get specific, get greedy. You are holding a magic wand. You can conjure up anything. Could it be that when you declare your wishes out loud, they're actually casting a spell for your dreams to come true? So it's a really nice card to get. I like when this card comes up. It's literally you say what you want and just hold space for it to happen, and it should come through for you. The next card is Libra, and I have, for the Oracle, I have the Earth Guardian. Can you see it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I could. Yeah, it's awesome.
And it says stay rooted and grounded. So this is similar to one of the Druid card that I had before. It's kind of like you need to put your roots down like a tree. If there's a storm going on around you, you need to just stay grounded in what you know to be true and stay calm, and things should work out well for you, kind of card. And the affirmation card is worthiness. So it's about self-worth. I'm worthy of ultimate happiness. I deserve and accept it. And damn it, I'm not going to feel guilty about it when I get it. Guilt is not invited to my happiness party. I won't even tell him where it is. If he asks about it, I'll be like, no, I think you're thinking about somebody else. And then I'll run away quickly. We have the White Witch card, and it says, be the light. And this card, honestly, I rarely get this card, but this card is about, it's about holding space for yourself and others. And just, it's kind of a let your light shine so that other people's light can shine as well. I'll read you the details later, girl, because there's a whole paragraph in the book, and I want you to get the whole thing. But I'm giving the summary for the book for other people. But I recently got this card, and I was like, oh, I never got this before. But yeah, it's about shining your light and really stepping into yourself.
Okay. All right, Scorpio.
And then this card is the affirmation, and this is about ups and downs and staying grounded. Regardless of the ups and downs. So life is always changing. I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. As I drift through the hard times, I take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind as I drift away to the good times. I can take comfort in knowing that more will come my way. So it's kind of just like going with the flow. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but when the bad is happening, it's good is on its way. Just staying positive.
That's a really good reading for 2021 for Scorpios. I'm like, okay, so good.
For Sagittarius, we have the arrow card for the Oracle, and this card and the subtext says surround yourself with protective energy. So this card I tend to get if I'm dealing with some folks that may not mean well for me. So I need to either be in meditation or just make sure that before I leave the home or before I'm interacting with these people, I feel grounded in me. So I'm not like absorbing their energy. I'm an energy absorber, so that's specific to me, but like that I'm, just being in prayer and paying attention to my intuition when I'm around this person so that I'm doing the best and making the best decision for me. So that card tends to come up for me in those situations. And for the affirmation, there's this card and it's no need to do. So it's about relaxing and just chilling where you're at and not being in a rush to do one thing or the other. And Sagittarius be on the go, like especially I don't know how Sagittarius people are making it through pandemic right now because they like to travel. They be like,
yeah, they do. They're
so
very, like,
I don't know.
People.
So it says I'm exactly where I need to be, exactly when I need to be. There's nothing more I need to do. I mean, yes, there's always laundry and taxes, but in terms of life's path, I don't need to do anything because I'm already here. Take a deep breath, relax, and trust, and then do laundry. Yes. So next is me, Capricorn. Oh Lord, child. So this is the Oracle card, and it's a card about love. It's the Heart Guardian. So and the text says love and let yourself. I can't even say it, child, because
it got you feeling some type of way.
People like, love, boo, get it done. Where's your checklist? Where's your to-do list? Love later. Like it's like love and let yourself be loved. So this card, I have been getting this card a lot.
I wonder what the universe is trying to tell you.
Yeah, I know. But because this card is really, if you're the type of person that constantly has their shields up and constantly is like, what you want? What you over here? What you doing? And so it's like, let people love on you. Let people celebrate you. It doesn't mean that's not to say that you should be completely vulnerable and just let somebody hurt you. But if you feel unsafe or your intuition is telling you leave that person alone, then move on. But if this person has proven to you that they're trustworthy, they're kind, they have integrity, let them love on you. You show them love, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romance. It could be friendship. So like, it's just but she looked like something going on in this picture. I don't know.
Yeah, she looked like she want that romantic look. Okay.
So I don't know, but let people love on you, Capricorn.
That's exciting, Capricorns. Ooh.
And this is the affirmation card. It's clarity. And it says, stopping to listen to my inner self. What did we just talk about? Okay.
Literally.
Stopping to listen to my inner self. I can easily separate my intuition from my mental chatter. The clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit that tastes familiar. And the mental chatter is confusing, bitter, like the rind on the orange.
Okay.
I peel off and chuck into the garbage. So clarity, just taking time to really center yourself and go, okay, what do I want to do? And for Aquarius, we have the Trader. You can see it. So Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. So this is about creativity in some ways. It's about exchanging your energy to create what it is that you want. Abundance doesn't always necessarily mean money. It's abundance of whatever it is you're desiring. Love, or that's just the example off the top of my head that I can think of. But there's some type of energy or exchange that needs to happen in order for you to get whatever it is that you're wanting, Aquarius. And Aquarius people are very like innovative and knowledgeable folks. So y'all be exchanging a whole lot of information anyway. So this is the affirmation card for Aquarius, and it's confidence. In this moment, I take a step back and look at myself with the pride of a good mother. I see the abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big or little ways. If I could stick myself on the refrigerator, I would. I would invite my neighbors over and say, look at that. Can you believe what an A+ this is? So it's about being confident in yourself and showing off a little bit. And Aquarius, I don't think y'all need any help in that area, quite frankly. Like, y'all be like, so, but it's encouraging you to be confident in yourself in 2021. And then the last but not least, Pisces. Well, Pisces, your oracle card says hermit, so retreat, and recharge. And Pisces, y'all, I think y'all need to do this on a regular basis anyway, because in general, Pisces, y'all absorb a lot of energy. You guys take on the energy of your loved ones, whether it be positive or negative. And so you guys tend to need a lot of time to yourself to recharge, to release, and to get grounded in yourself. So this is a card just telling you, reminding you to do that in 2021. And this is the affirmation card. And it says, everyone is a teacher. Everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. The one who gives me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me hard lessons, I sometimes call a-holes. They've chosen a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. So today I'm thanking all the a-holes. Thank you, a-holes, for playing your part and making me a better person. This really does go with Pisces, because good Lord, Pisces, y'all are too giving. Yeah. I got a Pisces placement in my chart that drives me crazy, because I be like, God, why am I giving to people?
They're so loving though, but yeah, sometimes they overgive. You're right. Yeah.
Stay, and my Capricorn be like, the Capricorn in my chart be slapping the Pisces around like, get it together, stop all this giving. So like, even the people that did you in, or didn't have the best of intentions, they taught you something. They taught you needed a boundary there. They taught you needed to grow there. So everyone's a teacher, whether good or a bad result, or negative energy, which still can convert into positive energy and teach you something. That's it. I hope that was good.
That was excellent. So I hope you guys learned some lessons. All of the 12 zodiac signs, 2021 got some good stuff for you. Got some good lessons, growth, and all of that. So thankful. Thank you, Janina.
Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Pisces. Just trying to get to know you know what I mean? Tell me.
Last question I was going to ask you is just how can we support you? So.
Okay. So the last thing is, well, you've already mentioned my websites. So there's sheexcelsboston.com. I post some of my content that you can readily find on TikTok and my Instagram. I post a lot of my videos on that website, but of course, all the merchandise, the t-shirts are available for purchase at sheexcelsboston.com. I have a couple of holiday t-shirts that I'm trying out. If you guys like it, there's one with like a reindeer, and then one with a cat with antlers. It was just cute and playful because I'm a cat person. If you guys want to buy that. I also have a t-shirt that I think is perfect for the holidays because we're stuck indoors. I have a t-shirt called Eat, Drink, and Be Ugly at Home. You know what I'm saying? So, because normally around the holidays, you get all fancy, you go out, you dress up, or whatever. And most of us are staying at home and just staying with family or by ourselves. So, and your leggings, you know what I'm saying? It's a cute shirt just to have on, and I think it'd be cute for social media. If you want, you can check that t-shirt out. I also have other merchandise. I have, not to go too much into detail, let me know, but I also have an apron that says Messy Creative in Black. It's embroidered. It's a very good quality apron. You can use that, and you can use that for cooking, painting, anything messy while you being creative in Black, boo. So you can do that. And I have a whole bunch of other merchandise on there, other t-shirts that you may be interested in. And grab. I have a few of the promo codes that are going to be coming out around Kwanzaa, around New Year's. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll get that notification about the promo code and when it's active. And yeah, that's it. And then I also have my photography business, so you can check me out that way. I'm kind of on sabbatical right now because of COVID. But if you want to book something in the future, you can hit me up at janinaPhoto.com. You can follow Madam of Laughs on Instagram as well as Facebook. And that's pretty much it, I think.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Nina. I know we took a little bit more of your time.
It's
But
okay, no problem.
it was such a
Thank you
great
so
one.
much for this opportunity. This is awesome. This was fun.
Yes, of course. And like how your card was saying that you read for 2021, let yourself shine and stuff. So I'm glad that you were able to let your greatness shine on our platform. And please, 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 everybody follow and support Miss Janina at both of her at three of her social media handles. Buy yourself a t-shirt because they're dope. They're fun. They're very comfortable, by the way. Oh my gosh, the fabric feels
Yes.
so good on my skin. Girl. I'm definitely gonna get me an apron. I was like, oh, I didn't know you had aprons. Surprise, surprise. And if you want to, have an astrology question, or you're just, curious, feel free to just ask a question. She has so many resources and stuff. So just, nonetheless, thank you so much for being you, for being funny, creative, and Black, for being excellent, creative. But I could go on and on and on. But literally, just thank you for being a great community leader, and sharing content that's meaningful, that brings us joy, and that brings us pride. So I hope you continue success. It's an extra bonus to be your friend. Hey.
Aw. Thank you.
So I hope that 2021 is going to be even more grand for you, Queen. And thank you so much for being on our platform. And thank you everyone for watching a new episode of Fahrenheit TV. We'll be back in the spring of 2021, but we'll still be posting on our social media pages. And we love you. We hope you have a safe and peaceful holiday, and see you in the new year.
Magic girl. Magic girl. Fahrenheit TV.